Oh, sorry. When was the last time a PR person let you down, and how?
Well, I don't know about let me down, although I'm building systems to deal with that. It's funny if you look at my Gmail.
Oh yeah, we got to look at this. This is Robert Scoble's desktop. This is outstanding.
Yeah.
This is just
If you look at my Gmail and you go to my rules, let me see if I can find. Well, here let's find if we. So here's an email, right?
uh
I'd like to interview you to the 25th anniversary.com. Okay, that's actually a pretty good one because that's actually it's on topic. It's short. It's easy to. It's clearly aimed at me. It's not automatically generated.
Right.
Let's see if we can find something. All right. So here's another one. Boring headline, algorithmically written. It's just sent to every journalist on that Twitter list.
Right.
There's no personality here. There's no like, hey, Scoble, if you're in New York next week, we just saw it. A smart PR person knows I'm going to be in New York next week, right?
Yep.
Because they've looked at my Plancast, they've looked at my Twitter, and on Twitter I announced I'm going to be in New York next week, and they're from New York, so they could have said, well, we know you're going to be in New York next week. You want to come out and see me? So this kind of email I filter. I build lots of filters. Let me just show you what I do with these things. I don't delete any email anymore. I write a filter to delete it. So now every time that guy writes me, he's going to be automatically thrown into the trash.
Oh no!
And look at how many I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of filters. Right?
Oh my God!
So, hundreds, maybe even thousands of filters. And so I have the world's best list of PR people. And now that thing gets thrown in the trash automatically. And there's thousands of things in here, thrown in the trash.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. And so that's how you let me down, is send me something automatic, and make it so clear that I can see that it's automatic and that there wasn't any thought put into it. And also don't build a relationship with me. The best PR people, you see them at parties, you see them at events. They invite you to dinners. They invite you to private, intimate press conferences rather than these, huge things. And hell, even getting invited to a huge press conference is better than what I just got from this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the answer.
Okay. Now, again, on the flip side, when's the last time a PR person helped you out?
Oh, almost every day. Somebody sends me a tip or introduces somebody. The smart ones are watching what you're doing, right? It's like, oh, you just did a story on geofencing. Oh, you should see this company over here, and that's sort of it's content flow. Being able to see where the industry is going, and that always pays off for me. And that happens all the time.
Okay, cool. Switching gears here a little bit, what character traits do you look for in a good leader? So, CEO, president of company, founder. What's that killer?
I was just talking to the CTO from HP about that. That's funny.
Oh.
What attracted me to Graham Weston at Rackspace, the reason we went to Rackspace instead of someplace else, is he had a vision for not just his company, but the neighborhood it was going to impact and the community it was going to impact. And that's a good leader, right? Is thinking through the long term of something. If I make these 50 decisions, what will happen 3, 5, 20 years from now?
Right.
And a good leader, so Graham Weston wanted the headquarters to move to this rundown mall in a bad neighborhood. And he had a vision for, if I get there first, I'll get cheap rent. So he's a shrewd business guy.
Right.
But he's also like, if we bring 1,000 people or 2,000 people here, all of a sudden the neighborhood will get a lot better because the housing values will go up because people will want a house nearby.
Right.
The restaurants will all start flourishing because they'll all be busy, and there'll be more businesses that open up because there'll be demand. and he understood the long-term impact on this neighborhood. Well, most of the, in fact, he says he doesn't know an employee who supported his decision. So at Rackspace, so, but he got it done, and even though everybody, including his partners, were against him, and he still turned everybody around, and now has a great headquarters and is seen as a success. But leadership is about seeing what you want to build in the world and convincing everybody else to join you, even when their first impulse is fuck no. And so that's leadership, and that's a skill very few people have, to be able to convince other people to follow them even when their first impulse is no.
Right, no, agreed, definitely. What's your favorite non-techie pastime?
Smoking cigars, drinking, hanging out with my friends. Food. I'm getting more and more into the foodie kind of thing.
What's your favorite food? Or what food could you not live without?
Sushi. I love sushi.
Yeah.
I love sushi. I'll if you invited me to sushi, I'd go to sushi right now.
Name a place.
there's a halfway decent one down the street, Half Moon Bay, Main Street Sushi. I used to like skiing, but it's getting tougher and tougher to do that with a family and being out of shape. So, photography is still something that I still carry my camera. Now I carry it because professional. I'm doing videos on it. But I still love seeing a good sunset and trying to take a picture of that.
Right. If you didn't live where you live now, where would you live? So,
I don't think. Well, I did. I lived in Seattle and I did the job, but I was down here every other weekend. So, if you want to be a journalist in the tech industry, Silicon Valley is still the center of gravity.
Right.
And Will.i.am, I was talking with him, and he used the word gravity about the music industry and how the record labels still are the gravity that causes things to happen.
Right.
Like music has to be 3 minutes and something seconds long, And he said that's still the gravity, And here in San Francisco and Silicon Valley is still the gravity. It pulls everything else in from around the world. Even if you want to keep your company in Germany or Tel Aviv or Shanghai, you still are going to visit here for a conference or try to get some funding here or meet up with other CEOs here, stuff like that. It still sucks things in. So you just stand here and people come to you, which makes it a lot more efficient. I mean, if I lived in Tel Aviv, I couldn't do what I'm doing.
Right.
I would have to find something else to do.
One last question. When is the last time you were unplugged for more than a day and not counting flights?
I can't remember because just doesn't happen. I mean, to unplug me, you'd have to stick me in an island that doesn't have cell phone, doesn't have power, and then I'd be jonesing like, take me a couple days, and then I would be like, I can't do anything, so I'm going to go scuba diving.
Actually, Roatan, I can recommend Roatan. That's where I went on my honeymoon. And it's exactly what you described. No power, no phones, and scuba diving.
Yeah. See, that sounds sort of fun. Got to try that someday.
Yeah. Well, Robert, I think that's it for us. Thank you so much for the interview and lending your time. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And best wishes to you. And keep on keeping on.